Diesel Winter Nationals, sanctioned by the ATPA. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones, your host for this ESPN2 coverage as we kick off the 2003 season for the American Tractor and Truck Pullers Association. Now, how long did it take to bring in 2,500,000 pounds of Hoosier clay? Well, believe it or not, they hauled it in here, put it down, packed it, and worked it up in just 12 hours. And I asked the manager of the event, Mike Chastain, how long will it take you to get it all out of here? He said it'll be completely gone and will be down to the bare stock concrete floor in just a little over 2 hours. This white line right here marks the out of bounds mark. If the sled touches this, the competitor is automatically disqualified. There's another one right over there, and this track is wider than normal. Normally a 30-foot track for the ATPA, but at this particular event, it's 35 feet wide, and a full pull is 300 feet long. Let's get the 2003 season started right now. And we'll do that with a K&N Fielder modified four-wheel drive trucks. Cody Lewis backing up right now. As a matter of fact, a little bit earlier, Army Armstrong presented him with one of our special awards. Army?
All fired up is what it's all about today. The Lucas Oil Best Appearing Vehicle goes to a truck out of the Show Me State of Missouri. Cody Lewis rolls in here with an awesome full-flame Chevrolet. Tell me all about this truck.
Well, we just got this done, Army, on the way up here. We were finishing putting stuff on it today. It's a brand new body. We've got a brand new chassis from last year, which Tim Engler built for us. New motor for this year. Dave Bamber built our motor out of Missouri. Tommy Timoleon did all the fuel system on it. And we've been slaving day and night on this thing, trying to get it done to get it up here.
Okay, now some of the names you're mentioning are names that have been around this sport for a long time. The chassis man with Engler, your guys making the horsepower. People don't realize the amount of dollar involvement there is in this sport. And I tell you what, you got one fine piece here. You got to be proud of this.
Oh, we are. We are. We've worked hard and quite a few years to get where we're at, and we really enjoy it.
A lot of people say if it's going to be a hot rod, you got to have flames on it. Well, I tell you what, you got one fine piece here. Congratulations on winning the Lucas Oil Best Appearing Award.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
And Tom McConnell joining me in the booth right now, our expert analyst, as Cody gets ready to pull.
One of the most awesome trucks in this particular category. Ted, you kind of got to look at these trucks like the equivalent of an NHRA Pro Stock. Huge mountain motors, naturally aspirated, and look at it, the first one takes it all the way out, 312.82.
Let's take another look at it. You can see he really had it rolling, all four wheels pulling, and they have a little dirt trap right down there at the scoreboard. He ran completely into that. Let's go to Army.
Super run, but it looks like they're going to be setting this sled. Now, what will that do to you as far as putting heat in this motor for another run?
Well, it's so cold in here that we didn't get to warm our motors up, Army, that actually it's ready to run right now. It's got the perfect amount of heat in it.
And remember something, Ted, this is an indoor event. It's the middle of January. It is cold. It's almost 0 outside as we check out one of the top boards from the TPM Lucas Oil Member Association in the Midwest. The ultimate weapon of red blue. Ford fans jump up and down. He'll set the new bar to be 281.38.
So Corey Blue with that mark. Debbie Sebastian now from Lancaster, Kentucky with the Night Train truck.
Well, we just got the word from the ATPA officials. A full pull is 306 feet. And check out Sebastian bouncing, makes a lot of power front end as you saw it locked up. She broke it. Ouch, that hurt.
They hooked the safety chain to our next puller. Let's check in with Army.
Debbie making all kind of horsepower. Well, when the chassis started unloading, something to the left front let go.
Yeah, I think we lost the front end on it. We've got these new profiler heads, first run on this new engine. I had horsepower without question, and now we're going to find the weak parts in the truck is what it's going to mount to. We got to put it to the ground.
Here comes Terry Hagedorn, the Untamed Spirit right now, our next puller.
One of the top 10 trucks, the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series here in the K&N Modified Four-Wheel Drive class, but he too is having problems. The track is really aggressive. About midway when the pan drops, they start to bounce, but he's got the power to overcome it. He sets the bar to beat.
297.82 feet, just a little bit short of that 306 mark.
The track looks like it's holding a whole lot of horsepower out there.
Yeah, we didn't really gear the truck fast enough. Got a new motor in it, didn't know what to expect, so didn't really get the ground speed we wanted, but we turned too many RPM.
As we get ready to go to break, we'll take a look at how they stand so far. With our McCormick Tractor leaderboard, you can see Cody Lewis with the only full pull. Stay tuned when we return. More four-wheel drives coming up. Pulling Series, sanctioned by the ATPA on ESPN Speed World, is brought to you by Duramax Diesel, the most powerful diesel engines available in a heavy-duty pickup. And by K&N Filters. Ask for them by name. Continuing on now with our K&N Filter four-wheel drive class, Don Grant, rags to riches from nearby Greenwood, Indiana, is our next puller.
Don Grant seems to be suffering like a lot of the other drivers, bouncing at about the 110-foot mark, but he's holding on to the power down at the end. 297 is what he's got to beat. Don doesn't do it. Look at the smoke coming out of there.
Wow, really getting rid of some smoke right there as he had problems. Now, Eddie Allen and the Ramrod from Knoxville, Tennessee is up next.
One of the toughest dodges you're going to see. And Eddie, look, it's the bouncing continues. He's actually airborne. This K&N four-wheel drive class, they're taking some rough rides because there's no shocks on those things. That hurts. 258 and change won't get the job done for the Mopar man out of Tennessee.
Some really hard dirt out there out of Noblesville, Indiana. Jason Jack Springs, the wild child of Fort Wayne.
For the last 2 years, this has been the top-rated Ford in the K&N modified four-wheel drive class. On his way to a very good run, a new paint scheme he's debuting this year, sliding the Hardman sled everywhere. Ted, I think he might have done it. No, but he was close.
So close. As a matter of fact, we want to find out more about that pull. So to do that, we sent Army Armstrong down there.
If you had to go back right now and hook to the sled, what would you do different?
Maybe come after just a little bit quicker.
290, 210 is a word we get on a 306 track. You got something you're going to have to come up with, don't you?
Yep, sure do.
Well, it appears, Ted, the problem is the guys are easing out, and when the time that they actually nail the throttle down, the pan on the sled is hitting them. Thus, they start to bounce, and it's happening a little bit right here with our guy from Wyoming, the top-rated truck from the Rocky Mountain Pullers in the K&N four-wheel drives. Rick Johnson, well, made the West look good, but he will come up short here at Fort Wayne. 280.20 won't get it done.
Tommy Chermolian backing up right now. Let's go to Army.
Rick, was it worth it making that kind of drive for that kind of pull?
Oh, yeah, that was.
How long a drive was it over here for you?
Well, it's just at the airport for me. My dad drug him out here, and we just flew out, and glad he brought him for us. I probably couldn't come, but I enjoy coming out here and playing with these guys.
Now, as Tommy Chermolian continues to hook, he received an award a little bit earlier. Here's Army Armstrong with that.
Well, the recipient of this week's Jasper Engine's Best Engineer Award goes to a truck that's the defending national champion, plus the defending champion of this event, Tommy Chermolian. I tell you what, this brand new GTS fiberglass is wrapped around a whole new truck, I understand.
Oh, yeah. Some of my good friends, Dale Bryan and some other people here, the people down at Shelby County Collision done the paint. We've come up with a brand new truck, state-of-the-art independent front suspension. We've got a 5-inch bore spacing, Brodax Ike headed Hughes intake that old Dave Hughes out there in Pennsylvania helped us with, and we've got some tremendous power here this year, and we're really looking to have a good season.
A lot of people look at what we would normally call a carburation, and exactly what do you call that setup?
It's your basic fuel injection, but we build this fuel injection down there in my shop, and the big advantage is you can drive it. If you ever watch four-wheel drives, the problem is taking off from the line without blowing the tires off, and my injection will let you do that.
So you can actually dial the horsepower into it. Well, listen, congratulations on winning one of the most prestigious awards in this event. Congratulations to you and all the people that helped you on the truck. And it's just an amazing sport, isn't it?
Oh, I just love it. And the fellowship and the people here and everything, it's just wonderful.
Well, let's see if that injection works right now. It takes a full pull. If he can't do it, Cody Lewis will be our winner, Tom.
Oh, absolutely, and I would not count Tommy Chermolian out. New paint scheme, and as we said, the Jasper Engine's best engineered, bouncing just a little bit as Cody Lewis looks on. He claps. He knows he did it.
Hey, Cody, my man, put the winner's hat on. Event winner from Lucas, congratulations. You kind of knew he could still get you, though, at the very end, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, Tommy's. This is a kind of a fun thing because Tommy Timoleon's one of the biggest engine builders in Poland, and I run Dave Bamber Racing Engines. He's one of the other big ones, so it's a pretty good rivalry, but we all get along, and it's a good deal. I got to thank the guys at Lewis Body Shop for painting the truck. They worked day and night on our truck for the last week to get it ready. Thanks for Profab Machine. He sent me down parts because we didn't get our new stuff made, so he sent me down parts off of his truck so we could run. So we're happy.
Go and enjoy it.
I thank you very much.
Let's take a look with our McCormick Tractor leaderboard. Cody Lewis was the winner. Terry Hagedorn ended up in second place. And here's how they finished all the way up through 9. We'll take a break. But when we come back, we've got Duramax Diesel Pro Stocks. Internationals, a part of the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series. Big news for the ATPA. With that, Army Armstrong.
Hey, Ted, you're exactly right. Look who I bumped into right at the finish line. Shauna Gilmore, Director of Marketing for Lucas Oil. And Shauna, I tell you what, we're tickled to death to have you on this ATPA tour with us.
Thank you very much. We're very excited to be a part of ATPA, and it's a great audience, and it's a great place for us to get our product out in front of everybody. And we've been long involved with motorsports, and this is just another great exposure for us.
Thank you very much. Great to have you in the fold.
Thank you very much.
Let's get things started with the Duramax Diesel Pro Stock category. Tractors, quickly the rules, Tom.
The rules are pretty wide open. You see a John Deere, it's got a John Deere block, but they're allowed to take that engine up to 680 cubic inches, one turbocharger, a limit of 24 inches wide on the tires, and then you go rocking and rolling as Tim Sarver sets the mark to be 280.94.
And as Rich Horton backs up to a hook, let's go to Army Armstrong, who is with our first puller.
Boy, 280.94. Was there any more in it?
It seemed to start missing there about 200 foot, and then it couldn't hack the gear we wanted to run. We wanted to get some ground speed up and try to, when we hit the end of the track, when the pan drops, we wanted to be going pretty fast, have some momentum built up, and it just didn't hack the gear tonight.
You know, they talk about the sport cross-reference. Check here. Got the same kind of brake assembly you'd have in a late model or a sprint car or whatever, the AFCO brake system, hooked to 30,000 pounds just as well as it will to a sprint car.
Yeah, 2 master cylinders right there. And this year, the first puller has to keep the pull. He no longer has the option of throwing it out.
That's right. A lot of sandbagging was going on. The ATPA officials said no way. As we check out the Horton team out of New York, the top-rated Pro Stock from the state of New York, little less patience. Rich will come up short tonight, though. International fans not happy with the run on that as we check out the #1 Pro Stock for the Lucas Oil East Coast Series, a regional affiliate, Randy Devon out of Maryland. International Harvester fans going after the Deere, but Ted, check out the antifreeze.
Oh, yeah. A lot of liquid spewing out of that tractor right now. That spells trouble, and he still goes 267 feet. Here comes Chris Mangelson, the Turn Me Loose tractor, and they have a special smoke machine to get all of that diesel soot smoke outside.
Yeah, if one tractor going down the track, we made a test run last night, set these smoke alarms off without this smoke tube. International fans, oh, so close. But he gets the job done. International fans, enjoy it. You're in the lead.
281.88 feet, nearly a full pull. Take a look right there. A straight pull, that's what you want. You don't want to have to hit those rear wheel brakes very much at all because that slows you down. Notice how he's carrying those front tires, just skimming right across the dirt. That's what it's going to take to win right here. Let's talk to him.
Running them to the limits. You guys literally put them on kill for this top end, don't you?
Yeah, it's about the only way you can go. Everybody's pushing them, and that's the only way you can do it if you're going to win.
Up next, Dan Christiani. Gotta go, Deere. Guess what? Everything's turning green, Tom.
Sparks coming out of the front end, not sure what that is, so there could be some problems for the Gotta Go Deere, and it appears it is. You hear the turbocharger chirping. Gotta Go Deere doesn't go far enough. Dan will come up way short, 193 and change.
Oh, yeah, all that smoke right there indicates there's definitely some damage. So let's move on right now to Mike Boyd out of Washington, Indiana, with the green streak #2.
Oh, this team, along with Carl Smith's Night Moves Case IH, the only Pro Stock team in this Duramax diesel class that has ever won the Lucas Oil title twice, and he may have just taken over the lead.
He
yes! 297.34, John Deere up on top.
Let's take a look at exactly how he did that with the Lucas Oil Instant Replay. You can see off going pretty straight. Again, not having to touch those rear wheel brakes. Now the front end comes up in the air, steering very well. Again, having to stay off those brakes. The tractor is starting to pull, almost goes out of bounds, and finally shuts it down with the lead.
Mike, 297 looks like an awfully good number.
Yeah, we debated on gears there. I think I could have took another one. And it's a good track, but we got a lot of people to thank, and I won't remember them all. So I just thank everybody, all of our sponsors, the ATPA, Riverside Engine, Columbus Diesel, help us. We really appreciate it. Without all that help, we couldn't do it.
Well, now another John Deere that could take the lead right here, Scott Typhon.
Typhon, winner of the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky. A tough John Deere, but the RPMs are going down. He has got it loaded. Now he's flying. Can he keep the horsepower in the track? 296.60. It is getting close, Ted.
Well, they call it the sport of inches. As we go to break, we'll take a look at our McCormick tractor leaderboard. You can see Mike Boyd and Scott Typhon very close to each other. But hey, we've got more Duramax Diesel Pro Stock tractors coming up on the other side. The ATPA Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series from Fort Wayne, Indiana is brought to you by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions, and by Georgia Boot, on the job from dawn till dusk. We'll continue on now with our Duramax Diesel Pro Stock Series. Kurt Willman will be up next with the Die Hard Deere, number 2 from Wisconsin. Got to be even colder up there than it is here in Fort Wayne.
Oh, absolutely. And this is one of the toughest pullers you'll see from the Badger State Pullers, a member state of the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series. Has problems, though. 267. He just totally runs out of power there.
And we'll take this opportunity to remind you, for all the latest news and notes from the world of motorsports, visit rpm.espn.com. Well, our next puller coming up right now is Larry Shope.
Larry is the defending champion in this event here in Fort Wayne. Listen to the RPMs on this John Deere. Oh, the R Dragon is flying, Ted. Front end now up. He's starting to bounce. 297's what he's got to beat. 281 will not get it done tonight. Mike Boyd on the green streak, too, has got to be feeling good after that run.
And a good shot of Dennis Miller right there in the roll cage of the Tinker toy from Grandview, Indiana.
Miller doing the driving for Don Masterson. On his way to a very good run, front end up. He's got to beat 297. He will come up way short. Surprising run there. 278.54 won't get it done. Usually a lot closer to the Boyd team as we check out Trent Boyd, another one of the Boyds. In fact, he's got to beat his cousin, who is actually in the lead with the green streak too. The Case IH, listen to it. Something wrong with the turbocharger. It's starting to surge.
Yeah, they're winding down right there. They have turbochargers. They really get those wound up. He had to shut down right now. The team looking on, and they were kind of happy with the situation.
I don't want to comment on that one. We check out Robert Martin, that darn Deere runner-up here last year at the Duramax Diesels Winter Nationals here in Fort Wayne. Another one of those very tough East Coast competitors. On his way to a good run, Ted. He's knocking on the door. 297, can he do it?
Oh, no. Shot, but not quite. 282 feet. Nobody can seem to get that last 10 feet as that final weight comes down on the hookup point. Dustin Hook right now, our next puller. Let's see if he can do it with his international.
He's our final puller, and he's a red one. It's red versus green. International fans, this is it. Can the T-Bone do it? No! Green wins it tonight.
Congratulations, man. You sit there all night long, let them shoot at you.
Yeah, you know they say a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then.
Well, I tell you, this is a good one to get because you guys work so hard. It's a good family operation. You got to feel awfully good about this win.
Yeah,
done some work over the winter and last fall there, and hopefully getting things running better. We had a tough year last year, a lot of learning process, you know, but tractor pulling, you never know from day to day. Every one of these tractors are capable of getting here, so, you know, it's just part of the sport.
Well, one thing for sure, today is your day. The winning's going back to Washington, Indiana. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
So we'll take a look with our McCormick Tractor leaderboard exactly how they finished up. Mike Point, nearly a full pull. Our winner, here is the top 10.
We're here in the staging areas at Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and you see we've got a piece of metal hooked between two McCormick tractors, and we're actually going for a Guinness Book of World Records, and it's got everything to do with a company called Cool Kim and its president, Ron Janik. Ron, can you tell us what we're doing here?
Well, we are going to attempt something that's never been tried before with an adhesive. What we've done is we've taken two pieces of metal, sandwiched two pieces of rubber in there, and what we've done is we've actually bonded rubber to rubber, and then we've cross-bonded metal to rubber. So it's never been done before to do different materials like that, and we're putting them between the tractors, and we're going to see what happens.
So we're going to see if it's going to hold together, basically.
History may be made here today.
All right, well, we're going to step back and see and put a whole new spin on the sport of tractor pulling. Come out easy.
Well, it looks like it's going to hold. They've glued it together with Cool Kim, and if our viewers would like more information on this revolutionary product, go to coolkim.com and type in the code ATPA1.
Well, Ron, I think the pullers and the fans here enjoyed this. It looks like you might have something that's going to work pretty good at Cool Kim.
Indeed, he does. One more award, our Valco Hot Pull of the Day.
It's got to go to Cody Lewis, making an awesome run to win in the K&N Modified four-wheel drives. Look at the horsepower and watch at the end. Buries the nose right in the sand pile.
That'll be a wrap for Fort Wayne, Indiana. Join us August the 1st at noon where we'll have the K&N Fielder two-wheel drive trucks. Until then, I'm Ted Jones for Tom McConnell and Army Armstrong. So long, everybody, from Fort Wayne, Indiana. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. It's two-wheel drive funny truck time in northern Indiana as the always popular and extremely competitive super modified trucks roll into town. With reputations, a power-pulling wheel stance, these behemoths with blower motors produce more than 2,000 horsepower. The objective is to win, and to do that, the driver has to properly balance the truck to carry the front end off the ground. It's the ATPA Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series from Fort Wayne. Next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as we continue our coverage here on ESPN2 Speed World of the Georgia Boot Winter Nationals. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones, and on today's program, we're going to cover one of the most radical and exciting classes in all of ATPA. This is one of the K&N two-wheel drive funny trucks. Now, why do we call it a funny truck? Well, if you watch NHRA drag racing here on ESPN2, you know the funny cars have the body that raise up like this. Well, the funny truck does too, and this is state-of-the-art. A Fontana Chevrolet replica engine with a Hemi head on it, something made popular and actually developed by Bill Coolman in those radical Super Chevy Nitro Coupes. Now even the pullers have picked it up. Latest state-of-the-art, a Ken Vinny hat on top right here that is custom milled, and a Cabelco supercharger. This baby makes plenty of horsepower, and when it leaves the line dragging about 50,000 pounds of weight, the front end is in the air. You're going to love this show. Stay tuned. We'll get things started with a K&N Fielder two-wheel drive funny trucks. Backing up right now, Danny Sullivan, our first puller. And earlier today, Army Armstrong gave him a special award.
Well, if you follow the sport of pulling, what you're looking at here is actually the third generation of pullers out of Warsaw, Kentucky. It's the Sullivan brothers, Danny and Donnie, who they're going to receive today the Lucas Oil Best Appearing Vehicle. And I tell you what, You guys kind of get this honest. Your granddad, your dad's involved in it. You've hooked up with a national sponsor. We're glad to see a lot of that coming into the sport. So congratulations to you, but we understand you're going to be doing the driving today, Danny.
Yeah, we always take turns, but this year's my turn up here, and then I'm driving down at Louisville at the farm show, and we're going to try to do a little good this winter.
Okay, now, Donnie, you're indoor this event, Fort Wayne, and of course Louisville, Kentucky in February. Big events indoors. Indoor tracks any different from outdoor tracks as far as how you set the truck up?
Oh yeah, the tracks are a little different. It's not as different here because you get the full distance. Normally indoor it's shorter, but anytime you compact that dirt overnight within a 24-hour period, it's going to react different than if it lays there all year long like a normal outdoor deal. So you have to make adjustments, but we'll have the Rent-A-Wreck Dodge ready, and we're going to try to whip on old Simon tonight if we can.
I'll tell you what, the Rent-A-Wreck Corporation getting involved in this thing, you guys have kind of been forerunners along with your fathers and grandfathers in bringing major money into this sport. That's why it seems to be still going and growing. Pulling has definitely found his niche. People like Lucas realize that. We want to congratulate both of you on winning this award. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we'll pull right now. Danny Sullivan, as they said, doing the driving of the Rent-A-Wreck. Joining me in the booth right now, our expert analyst, Tom McConnell.
And as they said, many years of driving expertise in this family. They know what to do. Look at it. On their way to a wild run, it up right out of the front, Ted. You see it, a broken blower belt.
Stopped him at 281 feet, and they were on their way to a really good pull. There's the blower belt. That's the weakest point.
281-2-0, and you were heading out the other end when the belt let go.
Yeah, it was a good run. The Rent-A-Wreck Dodge was going to the front, but stuff happens, you know.
Now here comes one of my favorite trucks, Ricky Long, the Willie Macon. It's a Willie's. Look at the gorgeous paint job on this truck with the flames and everything.
Oh, it is beautiful, and I love the way the headers are set up. It's literally like what the class is, a funny car on his way to a high-speed run. 300.36. Awesome, Ted.
Full pull for Ricky Long. Let's get down there and talk to him.
Come out of the box, 300 feet, .36. That's a good number. The question is, what are they going to do at this finish line?
You know, I don't know. You know, you never know. That was a really heck of a pass for my truck. We've got some new stuff on it, and she's really running good. And
Butch Krager, the announcer, just came over and they said that is a full pull. So let's sit back and see what happens the rest of this thing.
we'll just have to wait. If there's more, so be it. We'll be ready.
Well, up next, the guy that could do it. This is the son of the famous puller, Bill Leishner, Shannon Leishner, with the Dirt Slinger truck.
Illinois truck is very, very tough. Debuted it last year in Salem, Indiana. On his way to a very good run, but if he wants to be in the money as Father Bill looks on, is he happy with the son? Yes, he is. I think we got another full pull out of it. Bill's happy, so it must be, but no. 291.80 does not get the job done. Still proud of the boy, though.
As the Sawmill Express gets ready there out of New London, North Carolina, we'll explain to you, they actually do the measuring with a laser beam right here, so it is very accurate.
Check out the wheel stand on the Sawmill Express. Don't go out of bounds. He doesn't. He's out of there.
Stan Shelton with another full pull. Well, there'll be a pull-off for sure. Let's go to Army.
Hey, Stan, you're going to make these Colt Paper Boys awfully happy back in North Carolina. Full pull, looking good.
Well, I appreciate it, Army. We made some changes on this one from the other one. This truck's been hooking a little bit left. We've been making some changes, but it's still coming left with me a little bit right there. But I rode it as long as I could. Boy, awful close to the chalk line, but we'll take the full pull and come out and see what we can do.
What about the rest of the field? Is there anybody else back there that can get it out?
Oh, yeah, man. Daryl Varner, Keith Long's back there, Roger Simon. This is anybody's ball game. Everybody here is as good a stud as anybody else.
Well, he mentioned Roger Simon. He didn't mention his son, RJ. You see him suiting up right there. We'll have that when we return with more from Fort Wayne, Indiana. To the Georgia Boot Winter Nationals from Fort Wayne, Indiana is being brought to you by Duramax Diesel, the most powerful diesel engines available in a heavy-duty pickup. And by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions.
There is a tremendous history of the media working hand in hand with this Fort Wayne facility and event to bring some of the finest pulling sports into this part of the country. But the media has an opportunity this week to step up with the Duramax people out of General Motors, bringing out a couple of their Duramax powered vehicles, the newest diesel on the market. The diesel doesn't sound like a Greyhound, if you will, that anybody can drive, that makes all kind of horsepower, and that's what they're going to find out about. They're going to have an opportunity, the local media people, to find out firsthand what this Duramax horsepower is all about.
Well, the media had a lot of fun with those Duramax diesels, but now let's get back to our main class of two-wheel drive funny trucks. This is the son of Roger Simon, driving one of the Simon Says trucks, R.J. Simon.
On his way to an awesome run, it's screaming, look at the tire speed, and Father Roger jumping up and down. The sun is out.
Boy, and Roger is really happy about that one. Let's take a ride with him. With our Lucas Oil in-car camera, you can see RJ, the front end coming up just a little bit right there. Just a slight correction on the steering wheel. A good straight pull, and finally he gets the red flag.
Boy, you got all the Chevrolet people standing and shouting for you.
Thanks, yeah, it was a great ride. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Sempico and Jasper, everyone. My dad especially, Steve, Chris, my brother, my mom.
We'll see you in the pull-off.
Thanks.
Here's another regular on the ATPA trail, Keith Logue from Glasgow, Kentucky.
Of course, his brother Ricky is already in the pull-off with the Willie Make It. Here's their late model version, a gorgeous Chevrolet called the Bullseye, taking the track right down to the right-hand side, and it works. He's out. We are in for what's got to be one of the greatest pull-offs with the K&N two-wheel drive funny trucks.
Let's check in with him right now.
Seems like everybody at the back of the field's getting a chance to look at what they've got to do out there.
Yeah, the track has really come around. It's a good power track, and if you can hit your weight and your gears right, you're going to get out the end. So everybody's figuring it out pretty quick.
Indeed they are. Let's see if Don Finney can do it with his Up and Gone.
And we just saw Keith Long drive down the track. This is his former truck. He used to own this truck. Don Finney owns it now out of Paris, Illinois. The Up and Gone won Bristol here a couple of years back on ESPN2, but he will not win the Georgia Boot Winter Nationals at Fort Wayne. He comes up way short.
And now the new Shell Oil sponsored entry of Roger Beach.
Beautiful Ford coming out easy. Wait till he nails it. It's funny truck time in the K&N two-wheel drive stand, bobbling the front end ever so slightly. No surprise, Roger Beach out of here.
Another full pull. What a pull off. They have really figured this track out right now. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Tony Tatum, the extreme pleasure. Lisa Tatum will be watching and pulling for him.
Of course, Lisa is his daughter. He's looking down at what she says where to guide the truck. Now he's on his own. All he's looking at is that big, sassy Hemi as he nails it. Extreme pleasure trying to get into the pull-off. Chevy fans are screaming. Getting pulled over to the right. Will he do it? No. 298.14. Teddy just got out of control at the end.
Well, and Lisa Tatum really frustrated there. He said came so close, it's called the sport of inches. Meanwhile, here comes Roger Simon. This is the guy to beat. The man that has won multiple ATPA championships. Can he get the year started off right this year?
3 consecutive Lucas Oil World titles in the K&N two-wheel drive funny trucks, on his way to a good run, but doing just what Tatum did. He could come up short. No, he takes it out, but Teddy had to work at it. The track is really pulling everybody over to the right-hand side.
Roger in the pull-off is going to be the Simon family against the rest of the world, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to look that way, and I think we can get him. RJ laid a good pass down, and I should have moved a couple more weights back, and I never did. And I drove it a long ways, and I think that was the right thing to do, but I should have moved a couple weights. That would have hooked me sooner, and I think the track's going away a little bit, and you got to keep moving around. I moved from them other guys, and I think that's what you got to do because we're digging it up pretty good. So, hey, a good hook will still get it out, but they'll have to work for it now. So we'll have our Hands full in the pull-off, so with that Sempico oil, we turn RPMs, and that's what it takes, guys.
Well, that pull-off will be interesting as we go to our leaderboard, sponsored by Jasper Engines. You can see there are 5, and then the 6-man Roger Beach in the pull-off. But guess what? We've got more trucks to pull. We may have even more in the pull-off. Stay tuned. We'll have that next. Georgia Boots Winternationals, a part of the ATPA Lucas Oil, our pulling series. We're in the middle of the two-wheel drive funny truck category, and our next puller is Steve Jacks from Noblesville, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis.
One of the top running Dodges is in this K&N two-wheel drive category. On his way to a very good run, but seeing a lot of raw fuel coming out. Ted, something's wrong with the Jacks team.
Very wrong. Only 248 feet, as he definitely had some fuel problems there or something. Next up, Rich Sandiford, who makes his living by owning the Falco, a Cincinnati company, and he does this just for fun, so that's what he calls the truck.
New chassis, new paint job, new body on the truck, and Ted going for a wild ride. Ouch! The only thing that was secure on that was that big K&N filter. Ouch, that hurt, Ted.
Now Lisa Tatum has her shot at it with the full throttle from Bardstown, Kentucky.
Her father came up short, 298 and change. This is the last chance for the Tatums to get in the pull-off. Watch the butterflies. They've opened the air going into the big Hemi. Lisa, full throttle ahead, Ted. She's on her way to an awesome run.
293 feet. She comes up just a little short. Not a good day in Fort Wayne, Indiana for the Tatums. We'll remind you, for all the latest news and notes from the world of motorsports, visit rpm.espn.com. A good look right there at the business end for Darrell Varner, the utterly smooth entry out of Midway, Kentucky. He'll come out of the hole rather easy. You don't want to bounce, right, Tom?
You want to drag those tires as hard into the dirt as you can, and utterly smooth, living up to his name, Ted. No surprise, the Varner boys out of here.
What a pull-off we're going to have a little later. Now, earlier today, Army Armstrong made another special presentation. Let's take a look at that right now.
Well, Stan Shelton out of North Carolina is going to take on the Jasper Engineering Award, and I tell you what, you got to be tickled to death with this. Tell me a little bit about the truck. First thing that comes to mind I got to bring out is the chop top.
Well, we kind of like the slam look a little bit, Army. We want to be different a lot of times, and the slam looks a little different. You know, a lot of the custom trucks and stuff these days are slammed, and we want the fans to be excited about what they see when they come out on track.
Let's talk about the paint. Where did it come from?
Terry Faulkner Designs got a little bitty one-car garage in Albemarle, North Carolina. Does our paint for us. Super talented guy. Does a lot of Harley work, and boy, his talent really comes out.
No, Terry is definitely an artist, and he's put a canvas together here that's beautiful. You know, big block, what are we running as far as engine combination here?
We run 526 Keyblast Hemis, SSI superchargers. Basically the same thing as an alcohol funny car. That's what we're running.
Okay, now, we want to congratulate you on winning this Jasper Best Engineering Award, but folks, you got to remember, this guy rolled over from the Carolinas with 2 bullets. This is only one, and the other one's just as good a looker as this one. Hey, congratulations once again. It's something you're going to be proud of, I think.
Appreciate it. I want to thank our sponsor, Cope Lumber Company, for out their financial support. We'll be able to be here.
Well, let's find out right now if that big Hemi can get the job done. He backs up, hooks to the sled. Here comes the cutting edge.
Well, another truck that Arby was alluding to is already in the pull-off, Jed. On his way to a very good run, a lot of ground speed. Look at the front end up. Looks like something you would see at a rodeo, Ted. He's out, both of them in the pull-off.
Another full pull, unbelievable. So 2 more. Darrell Varner and Stan Shelton will join us in our pull-off. Let's check in with Army again.
You know, you follow motorsports, you find all kind of sponsors that realize they can reach their public through a specific type of motorsports. When Georgia Boots comes on with the ATPA circuit, and I'm with Bill Binkley now, the sales manager, and tell me a little bit about your involvement with this sport.
We're just getting involved with this year. We've been running NASCAR now for about 5 or 6 years, and the crossover is great. The agriculture community is a large community for us. Our farm and ranch product is geared to those folks. It's SPR leathers, which is barnyard acid resistance. We have safety toe product as well, and a lot of these guys love to hunt and fish. And with our Woo Daves line that are in the Bass Pros catalog, with our Sport and Trail line that's fully insulated with Arctic toe, the insulation's hung underneath rather than mashed between the toe box and the leather of the boot. Hey, we've got a winning championship group here, and we think ATPA is a great place to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're glad to have you on board. We look forward to seeing you on the whole tour this summer. We're going to turn you back over talking to your customer. I hate to interrupt on him, but Bill, I'll tell you what, we're sure glad to have you here.
It's good to be here. Thanks a lot.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the pull-off in the K&N coverage of the Georgia Boot Winter Nationals from Fort Wayne, Indiana is being brought to you by K&N Filters. Ask for them by name. And by Georgia Boot, on the job from dawn till dusk. Well, it's time now for the K&N two-wheel drive funny truck pull-off, getting things started with Ricky Long, the Willie Make It out of Glasgow, Kentucky. Now, they either add weight to the sled or change the gear, meaning that the weight comes down on the rear end quicker, Tom.
This could be possibly one of the most awesome pull-offs we've ever seen in the K&N two-wheel drive funny trucks, up and down. Ricky Long will set the mark to be 289.98. You gotta love how they jump around, Ted.
Boy, that really changed things. Army Armstrong is down there.
289.98. Is that going to be good enough to hold off 7 of the baddest hombres in this sport?
Boy, I tell you what, that first go around there showed just how tight we all are. I think within 3 feet the whole class. She felt awfully stout. She felt good. We've got a lot of new changes here for 2003, but for this Lucas Oil money, you know, and all the ATPA and Jasper engines, boy, you got to lay it out there, and I hope it's good.
Well, we'll find out. Breaking that weight down quicker on the hitch is really making a difference. Stan Shelton will be our next puller. Let's see how it affects him.
Here he comes, nailing the throttle, and it looks like, as he's done in all of his runs today, over to the right-hand side of the track. You can see him looking around in the cab. He just took over the lead, 300.52.
Actually went out of bounds, but after the finish line. Army?
Stan 30052. That's an awful stout number, but man, there's a bunch of strong trucks in this pull-off.
I tell you what, Army, ain't nobody back there that can't win on any given night. Track's hooking awful hard to the left. I think the track's actually better on the left-hand side. You get over here, you're dealing with a chalk line, though, so we hope it'll hold up.
Let's see what happens. R.J. Simon, put in place by his father, Roger, out of Farley, Iowa. He decided to go dead down the middle.
Watch this truck hook, but he looks a little bit nose-heavy for the first time. Ouch! Ted, it looks like a blower belt. Oh, he has got to be frustrated with that. He was on his way to an awesome run. RJ, you can tell, not happy at all. Let's check it out with the Lucas Oil replay.
You can see right there. Now watch for that blower belt to break, and you'll see the front end come down suddenly there as he digs into the dirt. Boy, that's a sudden stop.
Do you have any idea what happened?
It was in second. Second's right there. Push it out of gear. What?
Do you have any idea what happened?
No, I don't know.
Well, it looked like possibly a blower belt breaking, but maybe they had some transmission trouble, and we're talking about what gear it was in. Anyway, the pull-off goes on right now with Keith Long.
Keith Long trying to take the Longs to the lead right now. Stan Shelton in the lead, 300.52. Chevy fans, get down. Did he do it? Out of bounds. You could actually see the white line underneath the tires. We check it out with the Lucas Oil replay. If the truck touches the line, you're out. He goes right over top of it.
Took the sled right out of bounds. So our next puller coming up right now, Roger Veach, the Shell-sponsored Ford from Stockdale, Ohio.
Second year pulling rookie of the year last year, has won the event in Sevierville, Tennessee, is on his way to what could be his first ever Grand American victory. At least at this point, he is the guy to beat. 302 and change. Let's go trackside.
Hey, 302, you're the man.
I know, we still got Roger to come up behind us. There's still a couple good trucks. I hope it holds.
Well, Roger Simon with the Dodge, Simon says, could eclipse that mark easily.
Oh, absolutely. Simon on his way to doing it, up in the air. He is on a wild run. Can he do it? He's looking around. He is going to come up way short. Not a good weekend for the Simon team.
Very unusual for Roger Simon. Now it's not over yet. Utterly smooth. Darrell Varner has a shot at it, and he's out straight. Front end is on the ground. This could be a good one.
Varner made a very good pass the first go-round, as he is here in the pull-off. 287 won't get it done, Ted. The track may be going away.
It could well be the cutting edge. Stan Shelton. Let's see what happens with him. Also, front end down on the ground.
Last puller in the class. We know a Ford's going to win it. Shelton up and down, not going to get it done. Roger Veach wins his first ever Lucas Oil event.
Boy, you're going to be making a new sponsor real happy here.
Yeah, we are. It's really great to come out. You know, last year we came close several times. We were over in Pittsfield, Pennsylvania, and Ricky Long got us by 1/4 of an inch. So this was a great place to win our first one.
Fort Wayne's a great city, isn't it?
It is. I love Fort Wayne.
We check out our Jasper Engines leaderboard. Roger Veach, the guy to beat. And as you checked out Tatum's 9th and 10th, ouch. So we check out the Duramax Diesel hot pull of the evening. Who else could it go to but to the man that just won his first ever Lucas Oil event?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Coming up next from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oh, join us for hot action August 17th, 12:30 p.m. Until then, I'm Ted Jones for Tom McConnell and Army Armstrong. So long, everyone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. It's tractor pulling time in Indiana. Super modified, ground-pounding, ear-piercing power. These vehicles push 9,000 horsepower with wheel speeds in excess of 140 miles per hour. But if unlimited super stock action is more your style, we've got those too. Wheel-standing 3,000 horsepower tractors where you sometimes outmaneuvers experience. The ATPA Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series is next.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the McCormick Tractor Winter Nationals, coming to you from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones, and this is something they use in tractor pulling. This is one of 2 sleds they'll be using for this event here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, what is a sled? Well, it's the thing that contains the weight that the tractors pull. This big weight box back here will have anywhere from 50 to as much as 60,000 pounds of weight. And what's going to happen with that box, as you see that huge chain right there going down through the middle, as the tractor pulls down that 300-foot course here at the War Memorial Coliseum, this weight box advances forward all the way down to the very front of the sled. And as you can see, the wheels are up in the air when it's attached to the tractor and pulling. All of that weight is being drug on the ground. 60,000 pounds is transferred right straight on the ground and is being drugged by that tractor, hopefully 300 foot.
Let's get things started now with the K&N Super Modifieds. You're on board right now with the dirt slinger of Bill Leishner. He'll be our first puller. 4 engines in these Super Modifieds. They are wild. Joining me in the booth right now, our expert analyst, Tom McConnell.
Bill Leishner, 2-time Lucas Oil World Champion in the K&N Super Modifieds. Kicks off the year here at the McCormick Winter Nationals in Fort Wayne. But Bill having problems just like last year. Bouncing. He has to let off the throttle, else he destroys everything.
Let's find out what happened with Army Armstrong.
I think that's a classic example of a chassis unloading itself.
Well, I don't know, Army, what happened, but I was hitting my head off the roll cage, and I was afraid I was going to tear something up and hurt somebody or myself. Had to back out of it.
Next up, the down and dirty entry of Jerry Stewart, another 4-engine Super Modified.
4 Keith Black Hemis on this. This tractor is awesome. On his way to a very good and straight run, Ted. He is heading out of here. It appears dirt covering everything. Wow. 279 doesn't get it done, but that was awesome.
What a shower of dirt. The crowd loves it. Let's go to Army.
279. They tell you there's going to take some muscle. It looks like you brought a lot to the table tonight.
It's all new setup. I had no idea what happened, but I don't see anything laying on the ground, and it felt good.
No, nothing's laying on the ground, and everybody's chasing you. So let's see how it works out for you.
Maybe that'll be the winning run, but we'll wait and see.
The Wild Child is up next, Bob Jostock. Now notice he has his engines facing outboard, a different configuration.
Any way they think they can get the maximum amount of horsepower is what they'll do. Up in the air, a great run for Bob Jostock. You see why he has cannon filters on the thing? Dust covering the whole thing. 277 won't get it done as we check it out with the Lucas Oil replay. Could not keep the tractor balanced there. It starts to veer off. When he does that, Ted, he has to hit the brake, thus killing the horsepower.
734, looked like wheel speed's the way to go.
Yeah, pretty good hook stuff. A little slow getting out of the hole there, but looked like pretty good hook right behind the leader, so Jerry's a tough one, so we're satisfied so far with that.
Well, remember the old commercial, takes a lick and keeps on ticking. Here comes Wayne Bunnage. He calls his tractor, takes a lick, and boy, talk about a different engine configuration. Two of them front to back, and then two of them facing inboard.
And the two up front are Hemis. The two in the back are Wedge Dodge motors. Very unique setup.
Let's go right now to our Lucas Oil replay, and we'll take a look. As you're on board right now, you can see exactly what that driver sees. What a ride this must be. Take a look right there coming out of the left bank. A lot of smoke. As a matter of fact, the oil covered the lens of our in-car camera.
Well, we knew the heat made horsepower, but you just had them on kill.
They're pushed as hard as they can, and I think I need to work on this one.
Well, he's currently third with only 3 motors left surviving, Ted. How about that?
This ESPN2 Speed World coverage of the McCormick Tractor Winter Nationals from Fort Wayne is brought to you by K&N Filters. Ask for them by name. And by McCormick Tractors, the real McCormick. For a dealer near you, go to McCormickUSA.com. When we come back, more K&N. Jones, Tom McConnell here with you. Army Armstrong is at the finish line as we continue on with the super modified tractors, multi-engine behemoths. We love them. Here comes Scott Eder.
Eder, one of the top-ranked Chevrolets in this class, but he's up in the air, barely keeps it in bounds. That's really going to cost him on the far end, Ted.
Wow, what a ride. Drug the sled completely out of bounds and brought it back in. 242 feet. Let's take another look at it with a Lucas Oil Instant Replay. Looked like a normal run coming off the starting line, and then suddenly what happened?
He starts to bounce, and it starts to go over to the right. He gets on the brake, lets off the throttle, but by then the momentum of the 60,000-pound sled catches him. He's done.
Our next puller is a special award winner, and earlier this afternoon, Army Armstrong made that presentation.
Goes by the name of the Odd Couple. That comes from the fact he runs 2 Chevrolets and 2 Chryslers. Joe Eder out of New York has won the national championship in this class 3 years. Defending champion of this event. Unique opportunity you got coming up to go out a winner. We understand you're going to be making some changes here real quick.
Yeah, this is basically the farewell tour for the Chevrolets. It's they've been really good to me over all the years. Won me a lot of pulls, awful lot of pulls, but we're switching over, and we got to keep up with everybody. So we got 2 more KBs coming, and just go out to campaign and run with them.
Okay, you're going to be running the Chevy Chrysler combination at 2 events this year, Fort Wayne, and I believe the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what's in store for the winter, and then basically come the indoors or the outdoor circuit in the spring is when we'll have the other KBs on.
Okay, now this engine combination has worked good at both of those events. Do you think the change may be the right way to go? I mean, you're holding a hot hand right now.
Yeah, over all the years, anytime you add horsepower to it, I can usually always put it to the ground. It's just always having enough horsepower to get it down the track. So, anyways, it's just. There's always, horsepower is always the answer, so, we're going to put horsepower on it.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of horsepower, it's a big horsepower award. Congratulations on winning again the Jasper Engines Best Engineering Award, something you got to be real proud of.
Yeah, I appreciate it. ATPA and Jasper, it's a good deal, and they got a great organization here, and, we're happy to pull for them.
no pun intended, pulling for them. 2 Hemis on one side, 2 Chevrolets on the other side. That is real engineering.
And it won the event here last year, so it's going to go for a second consecutive win, if at all possible. Look at it, Ted. He's flying. Flying, Ted. Look at the dirt. No doubt. He is out of here. 303.26.
Full pull for Joe Eder, and Carla, his wife, is delighted.
Joe, it looks like you watched everybody and figured it out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I brought last year's recipe back, and I'll tell you what, boy, she really hooked up, and biggest deal here was get the front end up and be able to control it. It just started the one wheel a little bit back there, about 75 feet. I touched the brake a little bit. It calmed down and picked up and took off.
But it's not over yet. Here comes the Texas Bull Whip of Don Nelson.
You want to talk about unique? 2 big Chevrolets on the back. Listen to it whine. That's an International Harvester inline 6-cylinder with 2 turbochargers. Makes about 3,000 horsepower out of the 6-cylinder alone.
But one engine was seriously injured.
Accept my congratulations on a well-deserved win.
I'll tell you what, boy, 2 times in a row, 2 years in a row to come here and win this thing is pretty wild. And the competition's, awesome. And the farewell tour of the Chevrolets, it's like, boy, you really wonder, do you want to get rid of them or not? It's a combination working, but we had some more power to her. I'm sure we can put her to the ground. We're always working hard to put power to the ground.
Let's take a look at our Duramax Diesel leaderboard. Joe Eder winning with the only full pull. Then Jerry Stewart, Bob Jostock, Don Nelson, and Bill Leischner rounds out the top 7. Let's go one more time to Army Armstrong.
Lucas Oil, you've heard the name before. It's been around for many years. Now they come out with a new problem-solving additives that'll take care of almost any problem you might have in any type of automobile. We're looking at the injector cleaner. They got multi-purpose grease. They got even things for your power tools, your air wrenches, your power steering leaks, stops the universal transmission leaks and everything. But one of the things I think is interesting is you can go into a truck stop locally or a place where they change your oil locally, and they're all over the country, and actually see this display and try yourself and actually see the amount of drag and coefficient that there is on this product without Lucas Oil. Then come over here and do the same thing. And once you do it, I guarantee you're going to find out things go smoother with Lucas. Lucas makes a quality product. This proves it. You can find out for yourself.
Thank you very much, Army. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Jasper Engines Unlimited Super Stocks are up next. Stay tuned. Cormick Tractor Nationals, part of the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series. We're ready to get things going with the Jasper Engines Unlimited Super Stock class, beginning with Jordan Lustic and the Silver Bullet, the defending champion out of Pennsylvania.
What can we say? The only V8 in the class. Listen to it growl, Ted. A sound like no other in motorsport, and Lustic on his way to what appears to be yet another killer run. The crowd loves it. No doubt about it, Ted. He is out of here.
Full pull for Jordan Lustic. Army Armstrong is over there to talk with him.
Drawing number 1, is that a benefit or a handicap to you?
We were concerned about maybe the sled not being set right, but it's a perfect setting. We're real happy with number 1 position. I think it's the best run on the track. Everything's groomed up nice, but we'll just wait and see where he set the full pull, but I think we made a pretty nice pass.
Up next, the Cornhusker Deere out of Nebraska. Came a long way. He's a real Cornhusker, Dwayne Schroeder.
And you just saw one of the youngest drivers, Jordan Lustic. Here's one of the younger at heart, 67 years old. Still one of the top unlimited super stocks in this Jasper Engines category. But Dwayne woggles and boggles his way, has to get on the brakes and comes up way short as we check out another young gun, the wild and radical Jeff Hurt. And Ted, let me tell you, he's no friend with Jordan Lustig.
Jeff Hurt, the running bear, making a good run. They're moving down the left side now. They're preferring the left side of the track. He'll come up with only 269 feet. Nobody can touch Jordan Lustig thus far, except maybe Eric von Valkenburg out of Perry, New York. Wheels up in the air. He's going down the center.
Classic D21 Alice Chalmers, but does not have the horsepower. Belches the fire off at the end. Comes up way short, actually. But one of the top pullers from the Empire State Pullers. Glad to see him out here.
Now there's a good-looking Case International. It's called the Big Toy. Matter of fact, it's so good-looking, Army Armstrong gave him a special award.
Larry Roberts out of Bloomington, Ohio is going to take the Big Toy into the winner's circle already tonight as he's received the Lucas Best Appearing Award. And Larry, I tell you what, the picture kind of says it all. This is where the sport started, comes from, it feeds it and everything. But is there anybody else you want to thank for supporting you in this sport?
Yeah, I want to thank Brent Long. He builds the motors for the tractor, and Johnny Evans is the mechanic that wrenches on it. You got to wrench on it a lot. Get it ready for the pulls before the pull. I want to thank Tim Howe. He drives the truck for us to get it here. My wife and 3 kids, they travel around with us. You got to be going a lot when you go to these pulls. But I want to thank Lucas Oil for the sponsorship, for having us here at this pull, and all the other sponsors, McCormick, and the list goes on Duramax, everybody that makes this pull possible.
You know, it's a win-win situation. Good people like that, good people like you. Congratulations on winning this Lucas Award.
Well, thanks a lot.
So we'll take a look. Besides looking good, look at those chrome back wheels right there. Does it run good, Tom?
Does it run good? This vehicle, when it was owned by Artie and Joe Kwiatkowski, won this event. Roberts bought it last year. He is your defending winner of this event. Can he make it 2 in a row? Not gonna happen. Larry's gonna come up for what appears to be at least a runner-up position right now.
Crowd loves it.
Believe he went into the number 2 spot with that 291.
Well, thank you. It's tough out here. Lustic's tractor's running good.
It looked like a good run for you, though.
Like a good run. I don't think I got on it hard enough at the start.
Coming up next, Sid Broughton from Silver Springs, New York, another Case International. Everything's getting red in this class.
Oh, yeah. 2 event wins he picked up in the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series last year. And Sid having to get on the brakes, off and on the throttle. That's going to cost him on distance. Instead, if he could have gone straight, he'd have been through the sand pile.
Had to lean on that brake hard. Let's take another look right now with the Lucas Oil Instant Replay. All you can see was doing everything. Turn the wheels, then hit the brakes. Nearly had that tire out of bounds. Got it back in just in time. But alas, he had lost all the momentum. Settles for 259 feet.
Teddy looked like a sprint car. What can we say?
We'll remind you, for all the latest news and notes from the world of motorsports, visit rpm.espn.com. Coming up next, a green machine finally. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the incredible Hawk TV series? Here comes the Hawk of Robert Galloway.
Strawberry Plains, Tennessee, the Southern boys with their most awesome unlimited super stock in this Jasper Engines class, going for the big Lucas Oil money, and the win. John Deere fans cheer him on. Galloway 2 will come up short. 265 will not get it done.
So as we go to break, let's take a look at our Duramax Diesel leaderboard. You can see Jordan Lustig, the only man with a full pull. Larry Roberts, the closest to him, 9 feet behind. But we've got more to go. Once again, Army Armstrong.
You know, the name McCormick, one time one of the major hitters in the agriculture industry, is coming back. The Iowa-based firm has come out with these tractors that are one of the official tractors of the ATPA circuit. As a matter of fact, they're going to sponsor one of the events this year. But you put people like McCormick along with the ATPA crew, and you come up with pieces of equipment that are so unique you can only use in this sport. And the hookup system is exactly what we're talking about. This system can actually spot this truck. One of the biggest problems you have in the pulling sport is spotting these vehicles. They got all the horsepower in the world, but they're like a bull in a china cabinet when you're trying to move them around. So these pieces of equipment have been designed by the ATPA people. They teamed up with McCormick, and these little bitty tractors that you're seeing here today can manhandle these 10 and 12,000 pound behemoths anywhere they want to go. They can spot them puppies on a dime if they have to.
All right, thank you very much, Army. We'll take a break. The crowd is up for it. More when we return to Fort Wayne, Indiana with the Jasper Engines Unlimited Super Stock Competition. Stay tuned. World coverage of the McCormick Tractor Winter Nationals from Fort Wayne, Indiana is being brought to you by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions, and by Duramax Diesel, the most powerful diesel engines available in a heavy-duty pickup. We continue on now with Mark Hootman, the Hooters scooter, he calls it, out of Pike, New York, and this one is blue. It's a Ford.
That's right, a Ford New Holland. Hootman's been running Ford's a long, long time. He's on his way to a good run, but she snuffs out.
Wow, that's tough on the turbocharger.
Something had to let go.
Oh, the air's a little cool in here, and she leaned up on me and she detonated. So, man, we tried. That's all we can say.
Mining for dollars will be our next puller, all the way from Michigan.
Beautiful alcohol tractor. Listen to the RPMs. There's the whistle of 3 turbochargers, making about 3,000 horsepower out of an inline 6-cylinder motor. These Jasper Engines Unlimited Supers are awesome, Ted.
Boy, he had a good pull going right there. Finally shuts it down at 279 feet. Now, the Show Me Showdown of B.J. Marino out of where else? The Show Me State, Missouri.
Home of the Macon, Missouri ATPA World Finals of the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series, and Marino on his way to a good run. And Ted, the Unlimited Supers, they're kind of like top fuel dragsters. They will go kaboom on you. Let's check it out with the Lucas Oil replay. On his way to a very good run, had the tractor very straight down the track, didn't have to worry about the brakes, a lot of ground speed, and just when you thought he was going out, it went out, Ted, but we're talking fire going out the side of the engine block. Not good.
Completely destroyed that engine. Take a look. Wow, what an explosion. The fans in Fort Wayne are getting a real treat today.
Let me ask you this. Some of the guys are having problems. You got some back pressures building up here. It's starting on one end of the building as cold as it is down there and running hard into the other end of the building. Can that affect it? Does the air change that much?
I believe there's probably something to do with it. It is really cold. You know, it's been cold all day, and you don't have a lot of time to warm them up. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you that has something to do with it. I mean, we got new tires on here, and I think we're really loading the motor right now. I think that's got more to do with it.
Are you doing okay?
I'm fine.
Well, his motor's not so fine, even though he is. Let's move on now as things turn green with the John Deere of Joe Kwiatkowski taking care of business from Dorr, Michigan. Boy, beautiful mural on the side of that track.
Oh, gorgeous machine. Number 2 on the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series last year, on his way to a very good run. Now, Ted, he's got to get a full pull to beat the bullet. No!
And that was our last pull. Jordan Lustic will be your winner.
You guys roll out with a lot of hybrid stuff, but it seems to work out for you.
Yeah, I tell you what, we spend all our time, I tell you, we just eat, sleep, and drink tractor pulling. And back at home, that's all we do. So we got test track, we got dynos, we got stuff to test everything out. So when we come to the track, we're prepared.
Tell you something else, you got a good little driver. Every time I see you, you get a little bit better, you get a little bit more confident. Your dad, you guys make a great team.
Well, I appreciate it. Along with Senpico, our major sponsor, pulling on the Lucas Power Pulling Series. It's going to be exciting this summer. We look really forward to it.
Well, so do we. Congratulations to Jordan, off to a good start in defending that championship. Here's the way the rest of the field finished out as we look at our Duramax Diesel leaderboard. Now, Army Armstrong has one final feature.
Check this out. A scale model pulling competition is going on in the back side of the room. You got all types of competition, all types of classes. We ran across a guy that's going to tell us a little bit about it. Mike Gross, what in the world is going on here? This looks like a fascinating sport.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a pulling event that the whole family can participate in. We have 4-year-old kids that are pulling on up to grandparents pull.
Tell me about the type engines you use.
We're using small DC electric motors with battery cells, and we also have gas motors.
Okay, now one of the things I found interesting, some of these vehicles only weigh 10 pounds, but they're pulling a weight transfer sled that weighs over 40 pounds. And the classes are determined, let's just go back to this one, are determined by the number of batteries you actually run. Also, another thing that's interesting, you notice these lead weights, just like on the big pulling vehicles, and they're functional. These weights are moved around on the vehicle in order to get better bites.
Boy, that's really interesting. Our hot pull is a final award, Tom.
It's got to go to the guy that's won this event 2 times in a row. The Duramax Diesel hot pull going to Joe Eder. Goodbye, Chevrolets. He's going all Hemis now.
What a shower of dirt. Join us for our next coverage coming up November 23rd at 11:30 a.m. right here on ESPN2, the Duramax Diesel Winter Nationals. Until then, I'm Ted Jones for Tom McConnell and Army Armstrong. We'll remind you this ESPN2 coverage for Fort Wayne, Indiana has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So long, everyone. What are two of the most powerful vehicles in all of motorsports? Well, how about K&N Unlimited Superstock tractors and Jasper engine two-wheel drive funny trucks? They're coming up on the ATPA Lucas Oil Pulling Series next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as we begin to wrap up our ATPA coverage of the Duramax Diesel Winter Nationals with something a little special for a change. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones, your host for this coverage of the ATPA Lucas Oil Pulling Series. And today, we're going to have a shootout or a showdown, just like they have in drag racing. The top 8 of these funny trucks and the top 8 unlimited super stocks will be competing here today. Now, how did they qualify? Well, over the last 2 days, they had to finish in the top 8 of their pulling series here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The funny trucks will be up first, and why do we call them funny trucks? Well, they're just like an alcohol funny car in NHRA competition. Same engine, as a matter of fact. Methanol alcohol, supercharged, big block. This particular truck has a Hemi engine, but there are some Chevrolets too, putting out about 2,000 horsepower. They'll try and drag about 50 or 60,000 pounds down a 300-foot clay course that's been hauled in here to the Coliseum, especially for this event. As a matter of fact, let's get the action going right now. We'll begin with the Jasper engine two-wheel drive funny trucks, and our first puller is Adrian Hunter, the Canadian. He calls his truck what else? The Hunter. Joining me in the booth, Tom McConnell, our expert analyst.
Ted, this truck finished number 2 behind another Canadian in the earlier qualifying rounds this week. Adrian on his way to an awesome run, smacks it into the sand pile right below the scoreboard.
See, lift it up. Can we check the heat on it first?
Tell me right now.
Well, what they're deciding is they're going to let him re-pull. They're resetting the sled. They said that was a little too easy. So meanwhile, we'll go right now with Brad Campbell and Grandpa's Toy, another Canadian.
All the way from British Columbia, nobody drove any farther than this man to compete this weekend in Fort Wayne. He hits the throttle. Dodge fans, keep your eye on it. He won it all yesterday afternoon. The Dodge is going for it. Shuts down quick, 296.10 with Brad Campbell.
I'd say they have the sled set correctly now. Let's go to Army Armstrong.
I tell you what, it's hot inside, a little bit chilly outside today, but the last foot and a half, it seemed like the motor died on the run.
Yeah, I broke a blower belt, Army. I put a brand new blower belt on today. Yesterday in my pass yesterday afternoon, it cracked about halfway through. I guess they're not making them like they used to.
I guess not.
Here comes Adrian Hunter. He'll come back for that re-pull. Now let's see if he can pull just as well. Remember, they have reset the sled. He's out of the hole very easy, going easy on the throttle still. There, now finally you see the butterflies kick, wide open, wheels in the air. That's just what he wants, Tom.
Oh, and he does it again, Ted. When you hit the sand pile, there's no doubt about it. It's a full pull.
Meanwhile, Brad Campbell looking at that broken belt. Let's check in with Army.
Son, you drove a long way, but that last 300 foot had to be the best for you.
That's right. There was felt like a perfect run. And just a little bit loose on the starting line, but we got off it a little bit better. About 50 feet out, we just started hammering her open. So it worked out really good.
Coming up next, Stan Shelton and the cutting edge. Boy, beautiful graphics on that truck, Tom.
Oh, the Ford fans have got to love this. If they've got a Ford in the lead, they have a very good chance of getting another Ford out there. Shelton ran very, very good earlier this weekend. Now he's going to do his luck right now in the finals. Coming out easy. Check the butterflies. They're open now. Shelton's flying. Ford fans cheering on. A good chance to go 1 and 2. He's right in the hunt. 304.26. Usually a full pull, but they're floating the finish. He's not in it.
Wow, that's unbelievable. As the Utterly Smooth gets ready to hook, let's go to Army Armstrong.
Stan, when you get them up like that, you just got to kind of finish the ride out, don't you?
Yeah, we missed the weight right there, Army. We probably needed another 100 pounds up front. That 100 pounds made a big difference from that 2 foot to making a full pull, so we'll make a change for our other truck and hopefully get it out the end.
That is amazing. 100 pounds makes that much difference. Utterly Smooth from Midway, Kentucky. Daryl Varner been pulling on the ATPA Tour for a long time.
Oh, yeah, world champion, the Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series back in 1997. So a guy that really knows how to drag the weight down the way, making a very good pass. Balance just perfect, Ted. He is out of here. Nose right in the sand pile. Just what you want.
And that makes it a full pull if you can put the bumper in the sand pile with that floating finish line. Now Willie Make It lines up, and while he's hooking, once again, let's check in with Army.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the pressure goes on you guys. The sled looks light, so everybody knows they're going to have to make at least 2 runs, full pull, and then come back.
Yeah, that's right. It may be a little light, but we're all going to have to pull the same sled, so everybody's got to take the best shot.
Now we'll check things out with our Georgia Boot leaderboard. 2 full pulls so far, but it's a long way from over. Stay tuned. When we continue from Fort Wayne, Indiana, we'll have more of the Jasper 2-wheel drive funny trucks. Do Speed World coverage of the Duramax Diesel Winter Nationals from Fort Wayne, Indiana is being brought to you by Duramax Diesel, the most powerful diesel engines available in a heavy-duty pickup, and by Jasper Engines and Transmissions, the nation's leader in remanufactured engines and transmissions. We continue on now with Ricky Long, the Willie Make It out of Glasgow, Kentucky. Gorgeous paint job on this beautiful Willie's pickup truck.
I love the sound of this truck. The way he has his headers placed, it sounds just like a Lucas Oil alcohol buddy car.
Good start. Wheels are down on the ground. Now he wants to lift them up ever so slightly at the finish without spinning out. Can he put the nose in the dirt? No. Pulled 304 feet. That is not enough to make it into the pull-off. You've got to bury that bumper in the dirt with that floating finish line. Here comes Simon Says, the 3-time ATPA world champion out of Farley, Iowa.
Simon really wanting to do good. He had problems with his son's truck earlier this week. Blower belt caused a snafu. This is his only chance as the Chevy didn't make the field. The Dodge did. The body comes off. He has major problems, Ted.
Well, that's very unusual for Roger Simon. Let's take a look with our Lucas Oil instant replay. You can see it bouncing up and down. It's going to take one final hit. The latch came loose. And Roger Simon, not a happy camper, as he's out of the truck right there.
Jasper Engine's Best Engineering Award today is going to go to Roger Veach out of Ohio. You know, since this guy's teamed up with Shell Corporation, one of the most respected names in the petroleum industry, and the sassy engine combination, you guys have really turned into a major threat in this 2-wheel drive category.
Well, yeah, we've been real lucky here this year. Teamed up with Shell, it's helped us come out where we need to be. Sassy engines, they're building great power for us. My dad and my son, they help us a lot. You know, it takes a lot to get here.
You know, it's kind of interesting. We keep talking about motorsports being a family sport. At this event right here, we got 3 generations, your son, your dad, and you, and you all seem to be having a great time.
Yeah, we're having a ball with it. We love it. And, the biggest thing is working together as a family. There's a lot of long nights in the garage, a lot of quality time there.
Well, on behalf of the Jasper Engine people, we want to congratulate you on winning this award. Well deserved. As a matter of fact, this thing can win best appearing, best engineered, best everything, but the bottom line, we got to get it on the other end of the track. Good luck to you in today's competition.
Thank you, Army. I really appreciate it.
Boy, it is one beautiful truck. Roger Veach there out of Stockdale, Ohio. when he got that Shell sponsorship, he took some of that money and invested in paint.
Oh, no doubt about it. Beautiful truck, and he was the winner in the Jasper Engines two-wheel drive funny class earlier this week.
He's on a pass. Tom, look at that. Wheels just barely now at the very end. Does he have enough? No. He spins out just a little short, 293 feet. Will not get the job done. 304 won't. You've got to put the bumper in the dirt. Now, coming up next is Stan Shelton from New London, North Carolina, with the Sawmill Express, a Ford pickup truck.
Beautiful truck. You saw his first truck did not make it out. He said he was going to move 100 pounds to the front end of the truck because he said only 100 pounds difference in weight could make the difference between a full pull and not. And it does, Ted. Look at him. He's out. 100 pounds does it.
Underneath the scoreboard, he puts it right into the dirt right there. Let's take one more look at it with a Lucas Oil Instant Replay. You can see that he came very easy off the line. Then he started picking up. Look at the torque of that truck, lifting one side of the front against the other side. Cockeyed just a little bit. That's torque coming out of that engine. Sets it down and drives it into the dirt. Time for our pull-off right now. Look into the eyes of Adrian Hunter, how serious he is as we go to our Jasper engine transmission, two-wheel drive, funny truck pull-off, beginning with Adrian Hunter and the Hunter. Boy, a beautiful paint job on this truck. These guys really have pride in these things.
Oh, absolutely. And Adrian has won probably more events of the Lucas Oil Western Series than anybody's. And wow, coming here to run with the guys in the Midwest, he has problems.
Well, you have to realize that engine weighs a lot, broke the spindle right there's a good shot of the damage.
Adrian, do you have any idea what caused it to let go?
Belt, probably just too many runs. We just went to too many runs to bust the belt like that.
So when you're busted, it just robs all the horsepower, just boom, right out like popping a paper bag.
It just killed me right there and dropped down so hard in the back.
Probably a little metal fatigue coming in there as we move on now to the utterly smooth entry of Daryl Farner from Midway, Kentucky.
He's our only Chevrolet in the pull-off and the only guy running one of those big specially designed K&N filters for these giant alcohol motors. Teddy's on his way to a good run, and he'll set the mark to beat 285.36. Boy, they tightened up the sled, to say the least.
Indeed, they have. We'll move along now to Stan Shelton, the Sawmill Express out of the Tar Heel State.
This is for all the marbles, the finals here in the Jasper Engines two-wheel drive at the Winter Nationals. Shelton's on his way to a good run. A lot of smoke coming out underneath the motor, robbing him of horsepower. He's getting wild. Will he do it?
I don't believe it. He just missed. Farner's your winner.
Daryl, I tell you what, we just talked to Stan. He said you made a beautiful run. You read everything right. You deserve to be the winner today. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate Stan giving me that compliment. Everything went our way today. Our truck ran flawless. I couldn't ask for it to be hitched to the ground no better. Great place here to pull, great dirt, and I'm just overjoyed that Utterly Smooth, Utter Cream S10 Chevrolet could get in the winner's circle.
Here's the way they finished as we look at our Georgia Boot leaderboard. Daryl Varner, Stan Shelton, Adrian Hunter, all with full pulls. And finally, Roger Simon coming in 8th place. That's very unusual for Roger Simon. We'll take a break. When we come back, K&N Filter, unlimited super stock tractors to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. You're watching the Duramax Diesel Nationals, a part of the ATPA Lucas Oil Power Pulling Series. Tom McConnell and Ted Jones with you as we get ready to go into the K&N Filter unlimited super stocks with the defending champion, Jordan Lustic, who qualified well here yesterday by winning the event.
That's right. You can't qualify any better than by winning it. Here's a beautiful head-on shot. Let's listen to the V8 growl, Ted. 3 turbochargers, a V8 Caterpillar. No longer diesel, it's all alcohol, and he sets the mark to beat Ted. Even burns the tires like a Lucas Oil funny car. Wow, full. We got to see it on the Lucas Oil replay.
Out of the hole he came, straight, barely lifting those front tires in. Now, he's going straight, that's important. He doesn't have to hit those rear wheel brakes to correct and slow his momentum down. He just kept going, had a perfectly balanced full pull.
3:03:48, it looked like a picture-perfect run.
It was. I tell you what, it's as picture perfect as we could get. I think the balance is perfect. I never laid a foot on a brake. I couldn't have made a better pass.
And we'll give you this reminder: for all the latest news and notes from the world of motorsports, visit rpm.espn.com. Our next puller coming up right now will be Larry Roberts and the Big Toy. Good shot of Larry there, wrapped in that roll cage out of Wilmington, Ohio.
The R&L sponsored machine of Larry Roberts. It is awesome. Inline six-cylinder, over 600 cubic inches of big Case International under the hood of this beautiful machine. Has to hit the brakes. Look at the dirt, Ted. Turning the tires over 150 miles an hour. Roberts, though, will come up short.
Well, having to hit the brakes tells the story. You have to slow the tractor down, and that's all it takes to kill it off. Now, Joe Kwiatkowski taking care of business as things begin to turn green out of the Wolverine state.
Listen to the RPM shake out on the John Deere. He is screaming. He knows if he's going to do it, he's got to get a full pull. The John Deere fans are on their feet, and something goes. Kaboom! These things are like fuel dragsters, Ted. They are so radical. They take a stock motor. It's got to be the stock block throw 3, and some of them even have 4 turbochargers under the hood. And they make so much power. They're so radical, so unpredictable. 3,000 horsepower. And kaboom, there goes the flame.
Did it give any indication to you from the driver's seat that something was going to go away on it?
No, it didn't really. I don't know if we got a blower belt or we just got underneath it. You know, it's trying to run a tall gear, had a lot of wheel speed. It was looking awesome. It looked like the sandplow was coming, but didn't quite make it.
I was hoping he could put those front tires in the sand. Now Jeff Hurt comes up next out of Port Clinton, Ohio, on the shores of Lake Erie with Runnin' Baron, a very unusual tractor.
That's right, it's an AGCO Alice, but it actually has an air-cooled Deutz motor under the inside of this thing, which is legal with the sheet metal. AGCO bought the Deutz company. Jeff making a very good run, a little fire belching out, but right now, Lustic looking, oh, so good way out front. As Ken Measle gets ready to hook to the sled. Let's go trackside with